In 2016, the Democratic Party was coming off an 8-year high of ruling American politics. 8 years prior, Barack Obama had burst onto the scene as an unstoppable force, defeating John McCain in a landslide victory. With his cool, calm, charismatic charm, he quickly became one of the most popular presidents in recent history. He promised health care for all, passed Wall Street reform, and took out bin Laden. As his presidency was winding down, Democrats knew they needed another sure thing to keep their party going. So who did they turn to?
Was it all just a dream? It was the night before the election, 2016. Everything seemed to be going as planned. Amateurs and experts alike had already called the election months ago.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump. That's not going to happen.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States.
Donald Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
He's not going to be president.
Is there a path to victory for Donald Trump at this point?
No.
You still think she has a 100% chance of winning the election?
I do. I'm not sure the Republican Party is going to survive.
I would like to introduce to you the next president of the United States, Ms. Hillary Clinton.
Thank you all, and thanks to Jay-Z and Beyonce. And thanks to Chance the Rapper and J. Cole and Big Sean.
She had no idea who any of these rappers were, but it didn't matter.
The big day is finally here, and it's time to vote.
A giddy nation awoke that morning to the news in the New York Times that Trump had only a 15% chance of winning.
You know, growing up as a little girl, I never thought I could be president. It's becoming very real.
Congrats, Hillary, our first woman president.
Ooh, Hillary, all the way to the White House.
I waited over an hour to vote. I'm so happy.
In Rochester, New York, thousands put I voted stickers on the grave of suffragist Susan B. Anthony.
This is the most important election that I have ever voted in.
I got to vote for a woman for president. I made it.
Once the polls closed, before the votes were even counted, the champagne corks were popping at Hillary's victory party in New York City.
This has a literal glass ceiling. A glass ceiling they're hoping to symbolically burst through tonight.
Let's be one nation, indivisible, with a kick-ass president.
Meanwhile, just 17 blocks away,
it's a decidedly small venue, perhaps the smallest one I've ever seen for an event like this.
things were looking bad for the other candidate. The crowd was glum.
GOP officials now fear that if Donald Trump loses by a landslide, he could take down their congressional majorities with it.
Fox News seemed relieved that they wouldn't have to support this man for the next 4 years.
I think Hillary's going to win.
The betting odds on the presidential race are 3-1 in favor of Secretary Clinton.
Look at all these wins we're projecting for Hillary Clinton right now. She wins New Jersey with 14 electoral votes.
Mrs. Clinton is also performing strongly on the East Coast. Massachusetts, Maryland,
and Illinois with 20 electoral votes. Hillary Clinton projected the winner. No huge surprises thus far.
Then something strange began to happen.
Big news for the first time tonight, really big news in the presidential race. We can project that Donald Trump will win the state of Ohio.
Donald Trump will carry the state of North Carolina.
And that is huge for Donald Trump. This is exactly what he needed to do.
Donald Trump will carry the state of Florida, state of Wisconsin. He will win Wisconsin. Trump doing very well in Pennsylvania right now. The cliffhanger going on here in Michigan. 56% of the vote is in. Look at how close it is. Right now, Donald Trump is ahead.
It's completely flipped now.
To make matters worse, Fox News was using my name.
Michael Moore, who knows white working class voters, has made movies about them, grew up in Michigan, had been saying all along to the Democrats, dismiss him at your own peril. And he said, I'm warning you, I know the people who live in my state, and I know how they think, and I know what their concerns are.
Everybody should head home. You should get some sleep. We're not going to have anything more to say tonight.
This is a Fox News election alert. Donald Trump is the president of the United States.
Hillary Rodham Clinton, the former First Lady, New York Senator, and Secretary of State, would enable the Democrats to nominate the first female president in American history. And to make things even sweeter, they'd be running against this guy. The Democrat elite's plan to retain power was all coming together, except for one little thing.
1, 2, you know what to do. Feel the burn. Feel the burn.
That's right. A previously little-known senator from Vermont had started a populist movement that was taking over the country. He went from an unknown to a bona fide folk hero almost overnight. The Hillary team started to get nervous as his popularity grew. So what did they do? They cheated. As the Democrat elite transitioned from Obama to Clinton, there was a minor problem within the Democratic Party. At the end of his presidency, Obama had left the party $24 million in debt, $15 million owed to the bank, and more than $8 million owed to vendors from his 2012 campaign. Simply put, the DNC was broke and had no funds leading up to the 2016 election. That was until a friendly donor swooped in to bail him out. And you know who that was? You guessed it, the Hillary Clinton Victory Fund. In an unprecedented move, the Clinton campaign bought out the DNC's debt and gave them millions of dollars in loans to keep them afloat. They now had the power to hold the DNC hostage on the loans they had given them. The Victory Fund that was supposed to be for whoever the Democratic nominee was had now become a fund solely for Clinton. And what did she do? She used it all, of course. From the $82 million, only 1% was allocated for other down-ballot candidates like Bernie. The Bernie campaign soon realized the vast money laundering scheme was a calculated strategy to throw the nomination to Hillary. And that's exactly what happened. Even with hijacking all of the campaign funds, the popular vote showed Bernie neck and neck with Clinton and enough delegates secured to win the election. In their final act against the will of the people, the DNC used the power of their superdelegates, arbitrary voters who can select whoever they choose. 438 of those superdelegates voted for Sanders, while 676 went to Clinton. The Democrat elite had successfully subverted the will of the people and cheated their way to a Clinton nomination. And the worst part? They would go on to do it again and again.
Silence its critics. It now has license for any atrocity.